MMA fighting here at UFC 235 Media Day, speaking with Tyron Woodley, UFC welterweight champion, who defends his title against Kamaru Usman on Saturday. And first things, Tyron, I mean, you have an old school belt right behind you. You have the new belt right to your right. Which one do you like better?
Man, I wasn't a big fan of the new belt. When I saw it on TV, it looked too like the Jetsons, but actually in person, it ain't bad.
So you're coming around to it.
I'm coming around to it. Yeah, it's growing on me.
So you just had your first face-off of the week with Kamaru. What'd you see there?
Nothing. I just want to let him know it's on Saturday. Sometimes you got to get somebody shit a little bit and let them know you coming after him. And I think you know what time it is.
I want to ask you about the lead up to this one, man, because it's been fun seeing you with Ben. I feel like you've even been asked this before, but he has brought out a different side of you that we in the media have not seen often from you, and it's been very fun to watch. Has it been fun for you to just sort of go along this journey with him?
Yeah, it's making it light. It's the training is still hard. I mean, we're still putting in the work. This is the most me and Ben have ever trained together for a fight, but just to cut the edge off and have a little fun with it, it's been fun. And Marty is not a sport, which makes it even funnier because he's so mad that we get on his name that it's just making it funnier.
I was going to say, this is the first time I think I've heard you call him Marty. Is that something you're now doing too?
I mean, his name was Marty, though. I mean, he went by Marty, so how you going to get mad at us for calling him what his mom named him?
Well, hey, man, I want to ask you about the lead up to this or the training camp for this, because the way you look at the game is always so analytical. When you fight Wonder Boy, you immerse yourself in his specialization. Same with Damian Maia, same with Darren Till. What specializations have you immersed yourself in for Kamaru?
No, I'm fighting a guy that's a freestyle fighter for once, and he's going to spend some time at Orthodox, which I haven't seen in a while, which is kind of fun for me. It's a lot of attacks that I haven't been able to use because most of my guys have been southpaw. But now I use the technique because I had to, like you said, I had to immerse myself into their game plan. Now I can use some of their stuff against him. He's not really a specialist, so now some of the things that, I had to learn from Wonder Boy or Damian Maia, the way he had his half guard, the way he took the back, the way that Darren Till set up his left hand, the way that, Wonder Boy really used his rhythm to get in and get out. I can use all that in this fight.
I don't really know how to phrase this question, so I guess I'll just kind of go for it. Do you almost feel like Kamaru is saying what he thinks he should be saying in this situation?
There's no think. He's the guy. He's doing every traditional thing a person can think of. He's talking about he's the next up and coming. It's time for a new champion. He's writing and still on every gallon of water he drinks. He's doing everything, and it's almost like, man, at least be original.
When you watch that, I mean, you have gone through so many challenges at this point. You always are doubted, and you're always the underdog, and you always prevail. When you watch what he's doing, I mean, does part of it just make you laugh?
All of it makes me laugh. He's a tough fighter, and he's got my respect. He got my attention. I didn't train for him as if he was any lesser of an opponent than the guy I trained for the fight before. Feel good, feel amazing. You guys are seeing it on Saturday that it's game time. You'll see why I keep saying I'm the greatest welterweight of all time.
When we spoke to him earlier today, he said that in college wrestling, if he would have faced you, he would have beat your ass.
How?
I mean, what's your response when you hear that?
How?
Same thing.
Same thing. How? I've beaten a who's who. I've beaten Olympians. I've beaten guys on the world team. Joe Williams had made 2 Olympic Games and placed in the World Championship. I beat guys from Iowa State that were national champions. He hasn't done that. He hasn't wrestled against the best. So if he would have wrestled me in college, he would have got dominated the same way he's going to get dominated on Saturday. But the thing about it is we're not wrestling Saturday. So not only is he going to get dominated if we get any wrestling exchanges, he's going to get beat up. He's saying that because, like you said, he thinks is what he's supposed to say. Why didn't he say that at the press conference? I asked him clearly. I said, tell me how you're going to beat me. If he believed that would have been his opportunity to say, I'm going to out-wrestle you. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to push you on your back. I'm going to ground and pound you, and I'm going to submit you. Did he say that? No. So he went home, drew up another script like he did the last time. Last time he was coming all night, pause. And then he had some big shovel that can dig deep, pause. And then when those things got shattered, he didn't have anything else to say. So I'm out to say anything.
Well, I want to ask you about your reign overall, because when you came into the UFC, there were a lot of long reigning champions. You had Jose Aldo's, you had, Demetrius Johnson's. You're now the longest reigning champion in the UFC left. Why do you think you have been able to survive where so many others haven't?
The focus. Focus on the opponent. I've trained in a way 10 years ago that if I fought the best striker, I can outstrike him, and if I needed to, I can take him down. If I fight the best wrestler, I can outstrike him, and I can stop him from taking me down. If I fight the best grappler, I can outstrike him, and I can stop him from getting me to the ground. So I've trained for each person. So when the Wonder Boys came around, the Mayas came around, the Till, the Brawler like Robbie Lawler, I was prepared for all those guys. And if you notice, the way that they look against all their other opponents, none of them look that way against me. It's going to be nothing different Saturday night.
Well, last couple questions, and I really appreciate the time, man. Obviously, GSP just finally officially retired last week. That was a fight you wanted for a long time, just to be able to put yourself in that discussion, prove yourself as the best welterweight of all time. Was a part of you sad to see him officially call it quits just without having gotten that fight?
No, I mean, he had already retired in my mind. He hadn't fought since Bisbee and showed no signs of coming back. And he was out for so long, 4 years before then. And I kind of gave up hope on fighting him. When he took the fight against Bisbee versus taking the fight against me, I knew it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't like he wasn't offered to fight me 2 and 3 and 4 times. He was offered to fight me a lot. And it was something that he didn't want to do, which shows you that he had already done what he needed to do in the welterweight division. He had already had his long reign. He had had that belt for a long time. It takes a lot to hold this belt. It takes a lot to be in the limelight. It takes a lot with all the pressure and the responsibility that comes with being a champion. And he didn't want that. He wanted to come in and fight big fights and make big money because he felt like he helped build the pay-per-view model. He was a household name, and I don't disagree with him.
You've never shied away from stating your goal, like I said, of being the greatest welterweight of all time. Now that GSP's gone, his legacy is sort of set in stone. Do you see a roadmap for you to get to there, to where you are unquestionably the greatest welterweight of all time?
I mean, I didn't need him to leave for me to have that, though. You know, I would have fought him to prove it in that category. So him leaving has nothing to do with me being the greatest welterweight of all time. I just got to give him his respect and his due because he deserves it. But in reality, I'm going to be the greatest welterweight of all time because in a sport that's gained so much attention in the last 25 years and so much momentum, and it's such a household name amongst all professional sports. I'm fighting in the very toughest division in the world and the best organization in the world, and I'm reigning over that division. So that's not what Matt Hughes did. That's not what GSP did. That's not what Pat Miletich did. That's not what Newton did. I'm the one that's fighting these guys. Maybe the fighter after me, when I retire, maybe they can take it on. But right now, I'm currently fighting the best mixed martial artist that the world has ever seen.
My final question, man, it's a simple one. What does Saturday night look like? What do we see when you face Kamaru Usman?
He's going to get stopped. He's going to get finished. I don't know if it's going to be a submission. I don't know if it's going to be a knockout or TKO. I just see him going into desperation mode, see him shooting punches and they missing and me countering them. I see me pushing him around, talking to him, kicking his leg, punching his stomach, taking him down. I see him going for shots from far away, getting denied, getting punched. And then at that point, it's desperation. Now I'm in his head. Now the anxiety is going to kick in. Now he's going to be like, damn, my coach has lied to me. He is faster than me. He is stronger than me. I can't take him down. I can't stop him from taking me down. Now he's going to be in a position where, you know, he's never been before. And when I see it, I'm going to go after him. I'm going to take him out. And I want to stop till the referee take me off of him.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for the time, Tyron.